G'day everyone and welcome back to the GWS Career Mode. It's the 50th episode of the Career Mode and it's exciting. Like I said, it's the 50th episode, exciting moments because not only is it the 50th episode, it's the qualifying final preview. It is finals time for Season 2. Here we have a look at the first qualifying final. We're first, Hawks are fourth, so it will be at Giants Stadium. The sports bet odds have us at $1.67, Hawks at $2.62. I have accidentally done the Hawks 262 as a snake bite instead of a dot, but that's alright. But yeah, so I think the Hawks, they're probably going a bit generous on us and a bit harsh on the Hawks because we're not coming in with great form. Hawks also aren't coming in. Oh, and they're not coming in from bad form, but they did lose their round 23 clash, so they won't be too happy about that, and they'll be looking for redemption, and they'll really want to get back on the winners list in this game against us. We've managed to finish first again by like 18 points or something like that, like just way ahead of everyone on the ladder. Yeah, due to another absolutely awesome season. Last time we met was just round 2, so it was just the start of the season. It was at MCG, so it was Hawks' home game, and we won by 43 points, 7 goals and 1 point, so it was a massive win. Oh yeah, it was a massive win for us. But yeah, that was a long time ago. That was round 2, literally just like pretty much the start of the season. So that was a long time ago. Obviously, both teams changed. Both teams, obviously had a very good season to get to this point. But yeah, it was a long time ago. So a lot of changed since then. And I think come finals, it is finals time. So I think it will be a bit of a much more closer game. Hawks will hopefully lift. And hopefully we can get the job done again. In the best last time we played was third best on Liam Shields, which I've accidentally wrote as Shield, but yeah, I'm not off to a great start for Hawks. Second best on was Harry Himmelberg for us, and best on was Jesse Hogan for us. Now I actually do remember, I don't remember actually, I checked probably like 30 minutes ago, so it's not like I really remembered it, but the title of this video was Masterclass from our forward line, as shown there with there was 2 of our forwards. I think that would be our centre half forward at the time and full forward. Both are putting on absolute clinics and getting in the first best and second best. And Hillberg, of course, went on to win the Coleman. So yeah, he had an awesome season and he showed it early. And leading goal kicker, continuing on with the Jesse Hogan and Harry Killenberg having awesome games. Having an awesome game. They were our leading goal kickers of the game. They kicked 4 each, and Hawks' leading goal kicker was Luke Bruce with 3. They both kicked 4 each. Luke Bruce was Hawks' leading goal kicker with 3, and like I said, bloody Himmelberg went on to have an awesome season, win the Coleman. Hogan has been real good throughout this season in spurts. Like some games he'll play awesome, and other games he just won't play too well, and you barely even get a touch. Like I said, Luke Bruce was Hawks' leading goal kicker with 3, which I've actually got some big news on him, which you'll see later on in the video. Now we move to the other finals. Last time they met, we got the second qualifying finals, Port Adelaide versus Sydney. Round 15, it was at Adelaide Oval, and the Swans got up 60-73, so it was a close game, just 13 points in it. But Swans are in some absolutely awesome form coming into this final series. I think after their bye, they were either just fighting for the 8 or they weren't even in the 8. And now they've managed to fight all the way up to third. And I actually think that after their bye, they either didn't lose a game or only lost 1. And they just had an awesome second half of the year. And they will really be wanting to continue it through this final series. But they do have a tough matchup to start it off, which will be against Port Adelaide, and it'll be at Adelaide Oval again. So they did beat them, like I just said, they did beat them over there last time, but it'll be very interesting come finals pressure. Both teams are pretty young teams, but Port's team have finals experience. Now we move on to the next final, which is the first elimination final, Collingwood versus Carlton. 5th Collingwood versus 8th Carlton. Round 15, they also versed in round 15 on Sunday played, and it was actually also on the Sunday game. So it was at MCG, and Collingwood won 57-68 because it was Carlton's home game. So yeah, they got up by just 11 points. So again, another close game. So hopefully we get some real close finals. Just have an awesome close final series. But yeah, so Collingwood got up by just 11 points last time these two teams met. Oh, wait, yeah, I forgot I do predictions for this. My predictions for the Swans Port games, I think Swans will continue their good form and they'll win. And for this one, I actually think Carlton will get up. I think Carlton from 8th will beat the 5th place Pies, and yeah, they'll get up and they'll advance through to the semi and play the loser of us versus Hawks. And the last final from the first round of finals, last time that was the second elimination final, 6th place Adelaide versus 7th place Brisbane. Round 20 was the last time these two versed, so not that long ago. It was at the Gabba, and Adelaide got up 23-38, so it was a very low-scoring game up there in Brisbane. Maybe it was just an absolute howler of a night, and it was just bloody massive rain and stuff. Who knows? Massive wind even. Yeah, no, who knows? But again, I mean, just 15 points. So all three of the other finals were pretty close. I mean, this one, look at the score and you say it probably wasn't really that close. I mean, they probably dominated the whole game. But yeah, they're all, like, that's the biggest win out of the other three finals. And I think Adelaide will get the job done again. So we have a look at our injuries and suspensions, and we have none. Which is obviously awesome for us. We've actually had only 14 injuries throughout the whole year, which is the least out of any team. I think it's by like 8. And we've had like Josh Kelly have like 3, but he's only missed like 3 games, so obviously all only 1 week injuries. Then we've also had players like Errol Goulden got injured, and Errol Goulden is actually obviously comes second in the column by 1 goal, but he's got the best average for goals in games he's played. He's beating Hilberg by like 0.13 or something like that. But yeah, we've gotten pretty lucky with injuries this year. Now we move on to Hawks injuries and suspensions, and they clearly haven't been as lucky as us. Kyle Hartigan out for 4 weeks. Gunston is a big one, of course, out for 5 weeks, and Bruce 45 weeks. So yeah, he's out for pretty much most of next season as well. So yeah, and like we were just looking at it, this is the big news I had on Bruce. After he was their leading goal kicker last time we played him with 3, he is now out. And then suspensions, Granger Barras, just 1 week. So yeah, he'll be back for their semi-final. But yeah, so some big outs there for them essentially. So yeah, very handy for us. Here are our ins and outs from our most recent game. Our one in is Nick Haynes back from injury, and unfortunately it means that Ash has to miss out for the qualifying final. But massive in Nick Haynes back from his injury, so that is just absolutely awesome for us. Now onto our team lineups. Our full back line is Lockie Keefe, Phil Davis, Harry Perrin. The half back line is Sam Taylor, Nick Haynes, big in, Lockie Whitfield. The centre line, on the wing we've got Taranto, in the guts we've got Cornelio, and then on the other wing Jacob Hopper, who we all know got last year's finals BNF. So yeah, he's a big game player, Jacob Hopper. And hopefully he can have another awesome final series. Now we move on to the next 9 players. We got the followers: Flynn in ruck, Kelly and Ward as the other 2 in the mid. The half forward line: Tanner Bruin, Finlayson, Toby Green, and the full forward line: Goulden, Himmelberg and Daniels. So a very, very solid team we have. I mean, honestly, it really is a good team. It's very similar to the team that we actually had last year during the final series, but still, it's definitely better than last year's team. I mean, we've only lost Mumford, and we've just added in better players. Now we move on to the bench. We've got De Boer, Hogan, Kennedy, and Pittenay. Pittenay, luckily, he gets lucky. He come in because I rested Brigaya, and he just holds his spot, but he does have to play very good if he wants to keep his spot over Bugaya, but yeah, then we've got, of course, De Boer is our midfield switch, or our midfield switches, of course, also Brun and Goulden. Hogan is just key forward switch. Kennedy switching into that back line. Like I just said, it's just we do have a really strong team. Now we move on to Hawthorn's team lineups. Their full back line, we've got Hardwick, Sicily, CJ, and their centre half back line, Impey, Frosty, Scrimshaw. Then their centre line, Phillips on the wing, O'Meara in the guts, Warple on the other wing. It's a pretty strong back line and centre line there. I wouldn't say it's as good as ours, but it's pretty strong. Now we move on to their next 9 players. Their followers, they got McAvoy in the ruck, and then Shields and Mitchell in the guts. Centre half forward line, Wingard, Segler, O'Brien, and their full forward line, Patton, Lewis, Morrison. So their leading goal kickers are Segler, and I think it was O'Brien. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was Segler and O'Brien are their 2 leading goal kickers. Segler also, if I remember correctly, Segler won last year's Brownlow. And now he's leading Hawks goal kicking. So he's obviously in the prime of his career at the moment, just in an absolute purple patch for his career. Alright, and now their bench, they've got Howe, Reeves, Nash, and Hartley. Look, their team is obviously very good. It's got to be. They've managed to get this far and all that, and it's a finals team. But it's a good 22, like I just said, but I don't think it's as good as our 22. But you never know what will happen come match day. So hopefully we can, play the form of the brand of footy we've played for 90% of the year and knock them over, but we'll see.